Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today is going to be a dubbed podcast. We're going to go ahead and dub this straight to the YouTube channel. Be like a Friday upload for those of you that don't have podcast channels on the podcast network, whether you're on Spotify, Apple, yada, yada, yada. That way, if you're on YouTube, you can go ahead and check this as well. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't allow you to utilize the video of YouTube while your phone is off and just listen to the audio. Hopefully, that's something they're going to get in the future, judging with all the podcasts that are being dubbed to YouTube. So that being said, today we're going to go ahead and talk about some straight axle swaps. We're going to talk about not specifically straight axle swaps. Oh, wow. Hold on. Sorry. That's going to be a different video. That is not what we're talking about right now. We're actually going to be talking about steering gearboxes. That's what it is. Sorry, I was just talking to somebody about doing a straight axle swap and also IFS versus straight axle, solid axle, you should say. So that is going to be another podcast episode coming up here shortly. I have pretty strong opinion on both sides of that. I do support both of them. But anyways, we're going to talk about steering gearboxes. Those of you that know, I will link a steering gearbox video below that we did on the paperweight. Rest in peace, no longer here. Let's take a moment of silence. The paperweight is no longer on the channel. Eric did sell. Sorry about that, the battery cut out on me. But anyways, Eric did sell the paperweight Duramax, not just because he didn't really, he got that truck to haul around his off-road vehicle. He's unfortunately not off-roading anymore, and so therefore that hobby is gone, and he doesn't need a diesel truck anymore. So that one is no longer on the channel. Hopefully the new owner takes good care of it. We did a lot of work to it, including that steering gearbox, and we ended up going with a blue top steering gearbox on that. And the reason why Eric decided to go with the blue top was basically price point. When it came down to it, there was a major price point difference between PSC, blue top, and Redhead. Some people like to say red top. I think I said red top multiple times in the videos. It's actually called Redhead. Excuse me, gotta take a drink sometimes. But anyways, we went ahead and went with the blue top because of price point. And after doing a lot of research between, well, am I gonna go with blue top or am I gonna go with Redhead? It was a pretty strong decision that a lot of the Redhead steering gearboxes that used to be back in the day, the go-to for everybody, which by the way are remanufactured, they apparently were lacking a lot in not just their customer service, but their quality as well. So then after doing some research, and I actually got contacted by a guy that works for Redhead, and he informed me that a lot of the employees moved over to Blue Top when the Blue Top owners split up. If you have any opinions on that, please hit the comments below in regards to whether or not Blue Top and Red Top actually did, but I did have an employee. He did not tell me who exactly did go over there, but he did say it was quite a number of people, and he said, realistically, you can't go wrong with either company. Now, we had great experience with Blue Top, and actually I had a fellow subscriber here have even better experience with Blue Top. Ours was just mainly asking questions and dealing with them directly like that. This guy, he got a Blue Top steering gearbox, and it was leaking right away. They sent him a new one right away before he even sent his old one back in, and then he sent his old one back in for the new one, and also sent his core charge back whenever you have like 30 days to return your core charge, yada, yada, yada. But the new one's in, and he's been rocking it for quite some time now, and it's worked great. The blue top that we had on the paperweight was flawless. I mean, that thing was beautiful. I actually plan to buy blue top for any of my other trucks right now because of how flawlessly that one worked. I'm not against PSC, but keep in mind recently there's been a lot of people that have had issues with PSC. Not just quality, but also customer service as well. Now, again, it's also, you know, experience based and what you had happen and what your experiences with them. Whereas some guys, I know one guy, he sent me a message, he got a new PSC, wasn't working, returned it. They sent him the new one. That one wasn't working either, so he returned that one as well. Did not request a new one and went with blue top. I don't think I heard back from him if his blue top is working well for him or not, but there's been a lot of issues with PSC, and quite honestly, it just hasn't been really that impressive. I wasn't impressed with what people have said about PSC and their steering gearboxes to deal with the price point. It's not really that hard, you guys, to replace a steering gearbox. You got to take the steering shaft off. You got to take the pitman arm off of the center link. You've got 4 bolts basically to hold that on. You got to take your power steering lines off, and there you go. It's definitely not like a quick process, but it's definitely not something that's extremely hard to do. And like I said, I'm definitely going to be doing blue top on my trucks because I can't just. I thought I was going to go with PSC. Because the price doesn't really bother me that much, but once we had the blue top, I couldn't then justify the cost of the extra cost of the PSC. And I think if I'm right, I think you get a 3-year. If you hear any creaking, that's my garage door. My garage door is creaking because it's so freaking windy right now. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can hear that. Even my dogs are looking at it right now. But anyways, I couldn't justify the price point difference, kind of like my whole crocodile cloth here, versus which, by the way, we got a video coming up on that. If you saw the shit-ass video that I put out on Monday with the grease tip in your U-bolt axle bottom lower plate thingamajig there. I want to clean off my tools with all that grease with the power scrub. Yeah, but whatever. But anyways, I couldn't justify the cost, right? I couldn't justify the cost because the blue top performs so well. And I don't remember, let's see if I can look it up here. I don't remember if blue top comes with a 1-year or a 3-year. I think DMAX store parts come with a, let's see here, blue top. Steering gearbox. I think DMAX store, a lot of their parts come with like a 3-year warranty. Blue top steering gears, North Dakota. I did not know that. Cheers to North Dakota. I'm up there quite often, up there in Fargo. Over there, up there. I think it's kind of more over there for me. 1-year unlimited mileage warranty. That's what blue top does. So, you know, you're spending $250 to $320 for the blue top for a 1-year warranty. If it's lasted you a year and you installed it properly, it's going to last you quite a bit longer. They are remans, so keep that in mind. When you own an older truck, unfortunately, it's just one of those things that you kind of got to deal with replacing parts on probably constantly. A lot of people complain about replacing parts on old vehicles, but that's just one of the benefits to having old vehicles. You don't have, say, a loan or a payment on your vehicle, and you are proud of that vehicle. You work on it yourself. Even some of the new vehicles, a lot of guys are working on themselves. It's a lot harder. I will say it's a lot harder. I have done it. I've worked on it recently. I worked on an L5P, and it was a pain in the ass, and I was not a big fan of it. So I will replace parts all day long on these older trucks and roll with the older trucks as long as I can, as long as the old EPA allows us to. It's another topic. But anyways, so you've got blue top, you've got, went a little off topic there, you've got blue top, you've got Redhead, and you've got PSC. Those are kind of your 3 mains that you can go with. Don't sleep on Napa. You know, don't sleep on the Napa Gold gearing box. You know, it's kind of this along the same lines of blue top and Redhead. Now, I have not done any research to find out if, say, Redhead or blue top makes them for Napa. I don't know that. I wouldn't be surprised. I realistically wouldn't be. Now, PSC are not reman units. Supposedly, they're brand new units. Oh, God, it's so windy in here. I can't verify that 100%, especially with all the recent issues they have. We did have a PSC power steering pump from them that we put on the paperweight, and I got to say, we weren't all that totally impressed with it. It actually started to whine, and we had to, you know, change some things up. No, it didn't start to whine. Yeah, no, it started to whine when you went full lock. And it is what it is, I guess. But we weren't awfully impressed with it. And that, along with all the other issues everybody else is having with these blue top steering gearboxes, I just am not impressed enough to spend the $800, I think it is. I don't even think that's out the door. I think it's, let's see how much time I got. I think it's more closer to $900 out the door and shipped to your house. And that's a lot of money. You know, that's a lot of money when your truck's probably only worth, trigger warning, when your truck's probably only worth $10,000 to $16,000. Especially on the GMT 800s I'm sorry. I find it hard pressed to spend over $20,000 on a GMT 800 at this point anymore. Especially the older they get, the harder the parts are going to be coming to find, especially that rear pinion yoke. Sorry, it is what it is. Eric sold the paperweight for a great price, an amazing price, realistically. I think a lot of you guys' jaws would drop if you knew what he actually ended up selling it for. So if you wanted, you should have messaged him, because he was willing to let that thing go, and he let it go. That's for sure. But anyways, you know, the less these vehicles are worth, the more realistically you got to wonder how much money you're willing to put into them and what parts you're willing to spend. You know, I got nothing wrong with kryptonite. I actually have kryptonite traction bars sitting on my workbench in front of me right now, that I'm waiting on a new hardware kit for them. I'm not against kryptonite at all, but there's better options out there, you know, for a good price that offer the same benefits. And that's kind of along the lines of the steering gearboxes. You know, Blue Top and Redhead, whether you go which one or not, go with Blue Top, try it out. Go with Redhead, try it out. See how you like it. Unfortunately, if you don't like it and you've under that 1 year, take it out, send it back. You have a warranty on it. I don't think it's a return policy, but it's a warranty, and you can return it back, and you can battle with them whether you want your money back or you want a new one. And then switch to Blue Top or Redhead, vice versa. It works both ways. Or take a shot at PSC, and hopefully you get a good one. Because right now, it seems like a lot of the PSC ones are kind of a hit and miss, and that's a lot of money to have a hit and miss type style. Hopefully it works, you know, so... It's really comes down to, are you willing to take the risk of the expensive PSC? Why don't we look it up real quick here? The expensive PSC gearbox, or if you're willing to, you know, spend a little less. Because like I said, you're spending half the cost. Let's see here, 2,000. My hands are kind of cold. It's only like 40 degrees out, so my hands are a little cold right now. 2004 Duramax 2500. PSC gearbox. Boom, right there. So you're looking at $899. That's from Extreme Diesel Performance. You're looking at $895 right from PSC. Man, that's a lot of money for a steering gearbox. Now, what do they offer for a warranty? OEM steering gearbox, these trucks have always been a problem, yada, yada, yada. Increased tire size and handle loads, yada, yada, yada. You know, when it comes to oversized tires and all that stuff, just running an aftermarket gearbox is not gonna help. You need to replace a lot of things, and wheel bearings are going to be one of them. All right, so we're not gonna say what the warranty is on the freaking product. All right, so wow, they really want you to add a lot of shit. Don't add that stuff. You can add the pitman arm. That's it. You don't need to add all that other shit, especially for the cost. Wow, they are upcharging it like crazy. Frequently asked questions. Let's see here. It's got to be on there. We're gonna find installation expressions. Really? 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 They don't even have it on their frequently asked questions. PSC. Let's go to their home. Wow. I'm really struggling right now to find what their warranty is. If you guys can comment below, if you're on the YouTube channel right now, comment below on what the PSC warranty is. I really can't find it on their website here. I cannot find it on their website. Here. Oh, hold on, never mind. Hold on, I got it. 12 month. So they're I can't, that right there. If they would offer like a 3 or a 5 year, all right, now we're talking. A 12 month, you're gonna spend $900 on a gearbox that only has a 12-month warranty. Why don't you just spend $300 on a gearbox that has a 12-month warranty? I'm sorry, guys. I can't do it. I can't do it. And it's limited. It's a limited warranty too. The other ones are unlimited. This is a limited warranty. Let's see here. Does it say? Excludes labor costs, yeah. Yeah. All off-road only, non-street legal or competitive products expressed. So if you hint at all that you have so in their description, it says here that for vehicles with oversized tires and all this yada yada bullshit, you need, they want you to go with yours because they say, our gearboxes can handle the oversized tires and oversized, wheels and tires and all that kind of stuff. But then in their exclusions for the warranty, if you have stuff that is over the recommendations for basically street legal is what I'm getting at here, is you're going to void your warranty. So when you call in, you bet tell them you're running your stock tires. Man, that is insane. I'm sorry, you guys. I honestly was going to go with PSC for the LBZ, and I can't now. I just can't because the cost. I mean, $900 for a product that has a 12-month warranty. I can spend, the blue top, 2006. How much did I say it was? 2006 Duramax blue top gearbox. Right here, $320. That's a third of the cost. That is almost a third of the cost. So for $320, I can get a blue top steering gearbox with now this one says limited warranty too, but Blue Top's website said unlimited warranty, unlimited mile warranty, I guess you could say. So, but anyways, it's insane. That's insane. That to me is just not worth it. I mean, if you get a PSC and it lasts you forever, that's awesome. But I'm sorry, I'll take a blue top, and if that thing goes out in the first year, after spending $320, I can get it replaced. Or say it lasts me 3 or 5 years, I'll be happy because when it comes to these older trucks, some of the stuff's just not going to last us that much longer anymore, you guys. It's just how it happens, These manufacturers are going to go strictly Chinese, Taiwan, which is fine. But you got to understand that a lot of quality is going to lack because the older the vehicles get, the less in quality you get, the less more available these parts get. To even speak to Eric about his Trans Am rebuild, that has been kind of a pain in the ass for him. He's been able to get absolutely everything, basically from Summit Automotive. Shout out to Summit for helping Eric out a ton on that project. You guys have been huge on helping him get the parts he needed, getting them on time, speaking with him on the phone. It's been an awesome process with Summit to get those parts for his Trans Am build. But he wants these specialty headers, these short headers, and they're like impossible to get. And he said there's other things that are like impossible to get as well right now. So the older vehicles get, and unfortunately, you guys, these trucks are starting to get to that age where they're going to get older and older and older. 10 years from now, these vehicles are going to be pushing 30 years old. It's going to happen. And they're still going to be around on the road because they're freaking awesome vehicles, and manufacturers built great vehicles back in the day. And but unfortunately, some of these it just gets expensive, and you got to understand the cost difference. Do you want to put in Moog tie rods, or do you want to go with Kryptonite ones, or do you want to go with D-Max Store, which is basically Moog, rebranded? So you got to look at all these different avenues when you're thinking about purchasing parts for your trucks and your cars. You got to justify your cost. Like, you don't have to necessarily justify your cost to anybody, but justify your cost to yourself, right? Figure out why you're spending the money on that specific part. If you want to spend the money on the PSC, I'm not against it 100%. I'm not against it at all. If you want to say, hey, you know what? They're tried and true. They're out there for their name. I'm going to roll with them. Awesome. Go for it. 100%. But if you also kind of think like, well, if I can spend $320 here for this, well, then I can get the upgraded pitman arm, which I would suggest. Okay, talk about Kryptonite products. I would suggest getting the Kryptonite pitman arm. So then you get the Kryptonite pitman arm, and you're like, okay, well, say you budgeted $1,000 because you were going to spend that much money on a gearbox. No, say more because you had at least $200 on a pitman arm. So say you budgeted $1,200 for your front end for just your steering gearbox and your pitman arm. Well, now you can get a gearbox for $320. You get a kryptonite pitman arm for, I think, $220. So now you're at what, $540? Okay. Oh, shit. Well, now what do? Do I get new tie rods? Do I need new tie rods? No, I don't need new tie rods. Oh, idler. I get an idler arm and an idler brace for another $500. So I get a steering gearbox pitman arm, idler arm, and idler arm brace for still under the cost that you were going to spend on just the gearbox and the pitman arm. Add a set of D-Max Thor or Moog tie rods onto that, you're at $1,200. I'm sorry. Right there, my explanation quickly right there. The numbers don't lie, and it is what it is. You know, I'm not against kryptonite at all. If you want to install all that kind of stuff on there, I'm not against PSC at all. If you want to spend the money, spend the money. But at the same time, maybe your truck isn't going to be some big fancy truck, or you're going to roll stock tires and yada, yada, yada. You don't necessarily need all that big beefy stuff, you know. So just keep that in mind when you're doing this, to make sure that you understand exactly what you're putting in your trucks. You understand what you want done with your truck. You know, if you're beating the hell out of your truck, or if you rely on your truck absolutely every single day, again, I'm not against spending the money, but also understand that even because you just spend the money on the expensive parts, understand that it's very well possible that those parts are going to fail just as much as the cheaper parts are going to fail. It's 100% possible. Because shit happens, right? So when it comes down to it, I went off on a tangent there, but the thing is when you're talking about these 3 gearboxes, 4, like I said, don't sleep on the Napa ones. When you're talking about those gearboxes, it's just hard to not bring up cost of other things that you're going to spend on your vehicle. It's just not. It's just impossible to not talk about it. Because again, you can save a lot of money if you buy the right things at the right cost and understand what you're buying, and do a little bit more research on it, and do a little more, watch more reviews of what everybody else has had experiences on things. And you can get a lot of things done on your trucks for a really good price. And if you do the labor, you watch some of my videos, you watch other people's videos, you do the labor yourself, you're going to save yourself a lot of money, you guys. That is the whole purpose of what I'm trying to accomplish for you guys. Look at that sweatshirt. This sweatshirt's so warm and comfortable. I could sit out here all day and be comfortable. Just need some gloves because my hands are cold. But anyways, you know, it's my whole process of DIY Diesel, this whole channel, this whole page, all my media my social media avenues or outlets or whatever you want to freaking call them. It's all about connecting with other people and helping everybody, you know, get through a process of shit, I'm stuck. I need to do this. What do I got to do? Oh shit, he had this little trick on there. Oh shit, he had the same thing. He got stuck right there too. What did he do? Oh, he fixed it. You know, I'm hoping I can show you a little bit of tips and tricks along the way of showing you that, hey, I'm not a certified mechanic. I'm self-taught. I'm not a professional mechanic. I'm a journeyman electrician by trade, but I've been working on vehicles for a very long time, and I know these trucks, and you know, I'm not going to sell myself short. I used to sell myself short, and I've learned to not sell yourself short, and I do have knowledge in this stuff, so I want to pass it along, the knowledge that I do know. But I also want to absorb a lot more knowledge. So please, when you're on the videos and you see something that I did that you would do differently, please comment that, because I want to learn just as much as you want to learn, and the people watching these videos want to learn, and listening to these podcasts want to learn. So please, if you find a trick, if you see that this worked better than that way, like recently on one of the videos, the guy commented with the water pump removal, I made a short on it, and he said to put a kiddie pool underneath. That would have been a great idea. That would have been an outstanding idea. I wish I would have thought of. He commented below, he said, don't ask me how I found out. I know how you found out, man, because that shit is messy. Tip on the water pump removal, throw a kiddie pool underneath. But anyways, you know, that's what my channel is about. That's what this whole process is about. Please, if you want to support the channel, head on over to the store, DIYdiesel.shop, or hit the link below, or find the link if you're listening to the podcast, DIYdiesel.shop. You know, get yourself a sticker pack, t-shirt. The more funding I can get in for the channel, the more giveaways I can do. I plan on doing more giveaways this year. I didn't hardly, do any last year because I kind of ran out of funding. I was building the channel, building the camera, and all this other stuff, the podcast. So we've got a lot of stuff coming, you guys. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. If you're listening and watching on YouTube, thank you so much. I appreciate all the support. Make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you're commenting on these videos. It helps out so much more. This average view duration is huge. And thank you so much to listening to the podcast. Make sure you go ahead and rate the podcast or follow the podcast if you have not already. So have yourselves a great morning, night, day, afternoon, evening, whenever you're listening or watching, and have yourselves a great day. Oh, and we'll see you in the next one, or we'll listen in the next one. Thanks.